Lance, please. I think I killed him.
Oscar Tabak, brother-in-law of suspected killer Angela Beale.
The timing could not be worse for the American Apple Board, having just launched a massive campaign of commercials featuring Angela Beale.
Go ahead. Take a bite.
Tonight on Hard Copy. She had a smile as American as apple pie. But what Angela Beale handed Oscar Tabak turned out to be forbidden fruit. It's the garden of evil.
Tonight, Scandal Central takes you inside the sibling rivalry that turned deadly for an older sister who was one bad apple.
Heavy rains don't discourage this industrious engineer. He works on a business.
What'd you turn it off for?
Well, I've seen enough.
She's called 9 times. We have to tell her something. Well, what do you think?
I don't want another high-profile case right now. You know, I went to the Laker game last night. Shaq came over to say hi, and people started booing me. Don't I ever get a chance to lay low for a while?
Don't be a baby, Norman.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do this. The world just decided you're representing her. Since you left the office, we've gotten calls from Connie Chung, Jane Pauley, and Geraldo.
What about Ted Koppel?
Nothing.
Naturally. Call you later. Let me help you. You okay?
Oh, my head hurts. My neck, too.
If you're wondering about damages, don't bother. You were trespassing. This space is my property. I paid for it. See, my name is clearly marked. And there are lanes in here for pedestrian use. They're also clearly marked. The law requires you to use a dolly or similar apparatus when transporting heavy material through traffic.
You're Norman Keene, aren't you?
That depends.
I can't believe it. Norman Keene? I've been studying you for the last 3 years. Iowa State Law School. In my dormitory, you were practically a god.
Yeah, that's very flattering. You know, it costs $1,000 to fix an ashtray in this thing. I mean, we got body damage, paint job. If I were a jerk, I'd stick you for it. Hey, son. Were you listening to what I just said?
Most of it. Every other word, I just heard a bell ringing.
I knocked you flat on your ass because I was dialing when I was supposed to be driving. Now, what kind of lawyer is going to let me get away with a thing like that?
I'm not. I just wanted to watch you work. There's a camera right over your shoulder. My case was made 5 minutes ago.
That's very flattering. You know, it costs $1,000 to fix an ashtray in this thing. I mean, we got body damage, paint job. If I were a jerk, I'd stick you for it. very good. Should my insurance man be expecting a call?
No, sir. I don't believe in frivolous litigation unless it's absolutely necessary. Oh. Maybe we could talk business someday. I just got an office here in the building. Be a heck of a thrill for me.
Welcome to the bar, Roy. You got the makings of a real barracuda.
Thanks, Mr. Keene. That means a lot to me.
Yep,
Are you up for an experiment?
always.
Have Angela Beale come in the morning. Maybe it's time we find out just how good we actually are.
Norman, is it true you're representing Angela Beale?
Sorry.
When did she first contact her?
No comment.
Is it true that Beale was found naked at the
All right,
scene
no
of the crime?
comment.
Have you had any discussions with the DA's office?
Obviously, it would be highly inappropriate for me to comment at this time. Sorry about that.
Mr. King! Were Beale and the victim romantically involved?
Brenda, you know I can't comment on that. Morning.
Hey, good morning, Norman.
Hi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you, Mr. King?
All right.
Nicely done.
My tie was screwed up.
It looks fine on screen.
Give me a rundown, please.
3 seasons on My Two Moms, 1 Van Damme movie. Now, apples. DA hasn't filed charges yet. Go make us some money.
Miss Beale. Norman Keene.
I'm sorry they followed me here.
It comes with the territory, I'm afraid. Could I get you a cup of coffee?
I was in the hospital all day yesterday, and a policeman told me that my apartment was a crime scene.
Yes, well, I understand.
What do you do when a man beats your sister for 2 years and comes over and tries to attack you?
I don't know.
Mary's grateful. My sister, that's the part nobody knows. She's grateful.
Don't finish that sentence. It's more information than I need.
Yes, of course I understand. Please, Mr. Keene, tell me what to do. I'm lost.
Would you mind waiting here a moment? There's someone I'd like you to meet.
Why me?
The woman needs some help, Roy.
I can appreciate that, but I thought you'd toss me a DUI, maybe a shoplifting charge on some rich guy's daughter. This is
a shot at building your practice. Not that there isn't a certain folksy charm around here. How big is your client list?
Oh,
Do you have a client list?
I'm just waiting for it to be finalized by my secretary.
I see. Do you have a secretary?
Not at the moment, no.
Look, Roy, do what I tell you, you'll come out of this the highest profile 26-year-old attorney in the history of the country. Think your old man might like watching his son every day on TV?
My father died when I was 10.
Well, that's okay. I hear heaven just got cable. Rika, would you bring Angela Beale down to Mr. Guyton's office, please?
Now?
Well, now, don't look so distraught, Roy. You won't lose, I promise.
Nobody can promise that.
I'm not nobody. Don't you read the papers?
There's something you're leaving out.
Hmm?
Lawyers kill for a case like this. Why would you just give it away?
Well, the public's seen too much of me in the last 6 months. It's hard to retain any mystery about you when you're on the tube more than I love Lucy.
Why me?
The truth? The case is too good to turn over to a legitimate competitor. Sorry. But it's a hell of a challenge, don't you think? I mean, trying to win a case without even being in it.
Challenge? With all due respect, sir, this is somebody's life we're talking about.
Oh, God bless you, son. Not even hired yet, and already you're defending her. Oh, Angela Beale, this is Roy Guyton, attorney at law.
Hello.
A pleasure to meet you, Ms. Beale. Please have a seat.
Oh, and this is Rika Martin. She'll be running interference for us.
If you've got any plans for tonight, cancel them.
I don't.
Good. Ms. Beale will schedule a press conference for noon tomorrow where you'll introduce yourself as her counsel. Do you have any contacts in the DA's office?
Not yet.
You will. After the press conference.
Excuse me, pardon me. I don't understand. I thought you...
Angela, the last thing you need right now is me at your side. Do you know where trials are won today? They're won on television. Forget courtrooms, even verdicts. They're secondary now.
But I saw what you did for Billy Joe Vittle.
Yeah, Billy Joe Vittle is the reason I can't take your case. According to the latest polls, 92% of the public, which means 92% of the prospective jurors in your case, think he's a killer. And I just represented him.
And he was acquitted.
And who do you think will pay the price for that? My next client. That's a spin on me right now. Norman Keene is the guy you go to if you're famous and you did it. You have a career to worry about. In the end, you have to come out looking like, well, the only injustice in this case was you being on trial in the first place. But what if you went with Roy here instead? A kid, right out of law school, just started practicing. And you went to those reporters down there and you told them, I went to Norman Keene. I couldn't afford him. In about 5 seconds, you'd become a cause. And suppose I was in the shadows coaching him, showing him just what I did for Billy Joe, without the press ever knowing I was involved.
You'd do that for me?
No. I'd do it for 70% of the retainer and exclusive representation of all ancillary and subsidiary rights to your story after we win. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes, I think it does.
Good. Now, can we continue?
After the press conference, you'll take her to felony arraignment court. Bail scheduled for murder 1 calls for $1 million bond plus 20 grand for the gun her sister's posting. She's a minimal flight risk with no priors and strong ties to the community.
Oh, I'm supposed to do a shoot tomorrow. Do I cancel?
Absolutely not. Make them fire you.
5 minutes after you're cleared, we'll sue for wrongful termination.
That's my boy.
I promised myself I wouldn't do this.
It's okay.
He was an awful man, Roy. If I didn't stop him, he would have killed her. But I don't want to go to jail. Oh. I must look terrible. Am I okay?
You look fine. Angela, Norman knows what he's doing. You're not going to jail.
Okay. This guy's a beauty.
He'll be fine. F. Lee, is that you?
I'm so sorry.
It's not a problem. Nobody saw.
Oh, a client saw.
Do you mind? Come on out. It's okay. Norman and I anticipated this. We've got a contingency plan.
Oh, I should have warned you about me. I don't know why I didn't. No, that's a lie. I know exactly why I didn't. I wanted my shot. I'm such an idiot.
I think you're gonna feel a lot better when you hear what...
No, it won't help. Nothing does. I know this is a bad time to tell you this, but, you have a right to know, you know, I'm gutless. I mean it, everything else is an act.
You're having an anxiety attack that doesn't define who you are.
Comes pretty damn close. You don't understand. This is the real me. Always has been.
I don't believe that.
So humiliating.
I think you're gorgeous.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me.
After what I just admitted.
Especially after what you just admitted.
Oh, Norman. I thought I was ready.
Well, who says you aren't? Stage fright's normal the first time you face those piranhas. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Put this in your ear. Go on, put it in. It's a receiver. It's hooked up to a mic in my office. I'll be watching on TV. If somebody throws you a curveball, I'll tell you how to handle it. Put it in.
This is pathetic.
It's a Band-Aid to get you through your first press conference. Now, let's go take care of our client.
I'll do the prepared statement, but that's it.
We'll see.
I'm not answering any questions.
We'll see.
The hyena seldom hunts on his own, preferring instead to attack.
Roy, I'm right here, so relax. I will not let you look bad. Now, if you feel yourself starting to lock up, just remember the bottom line. All your client did was shoot the bad guy. She shouldn't have to spend the rest of her life paying for it. You can do this, son. Introduce yourself, spell your last name, and go into your statement. And Roy, a little bit of Iowa in the voice couldn't hurt. Nothing heavy, just a touch of the Midwest. You'll thank me later.
Good afternoon. My name is Roy Guyton, G-U-Y-T-O-N, and I'll be representing Miss Beale in this matter. I was notified this morning by the Office of the District Attorney that my client has been charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of Oscar Tabak. I've advised her to cooperate fully with the DA and police and will be surrendering her to the custody of the court at 1 p.m. today.
Good. You sound great.
But before doing so, I'd like to set straight a few things that have been misrepresented in the past 24 hours. Oscar Tabak was a monster. For the 2 years they were married, he abused his wife, Mary, both emotionally and physically, threatening to kill her if she ever left him. Then he set his sights on Mary's sister, Angela Beale. Beginning last summer, Oscar pursued and harassed my client. He called her repeatedly, sent her everything from poems to pornography. It was a game to him. 3 nights ago, he barged into her apartment in a drunken rage. She asked him to leave, and he attacked her. She dialed 911, a call you will be hearing in court. Oscar ripped the phone from the wall and lunged at her. In her bedroom was a handgun, which she is legally licensed to own. She got to it and fired, killing her. Her sister, the widow, by the way, will be posting bail. That should tell you all you need to know about the deceased. These are the facts. And that is our case. All else is pure fiction.
Angela, didn't you talk to Norman Keene yesterday?
Yes.
Why isn't he representing you?
I couldn't afford him. Money's going to be a little tight from now on.
What about your job with the Apple Board?
I was fired yesterday. Replaced.
Roy, have you ever tried a murder case before?
No. What kind of trial experience do you have?
Just like we talked about.
Moot court at Iowa State University Law School.
Angela, why did you kick him?
He believes me.
What's that in your ear, Mr. Guyton?
I'm sorry?
In your ear?
Nerve deafness.
Nerve deafness.
You were injured in a grain elevator, age 6.
Huh?
It's a farming accident from my childhood.
Oh, just the one ear.
Yes, just in the left.
Right, schmuck.
Just in the one. It's fine.
Wrap it up, or questions are left with the bell.
I'm sorry, but that's all we're gonna have time for this morning.
Angela, did you tell the police any of this?
How did you learn you'd been fired? Angela, how long have you known Mr. Guyton?
I'm sorry.
Angela, you just made your sister a widow. Are you sorry you did it?
Duck that when you're home free.
I'm not gonna let her answer that.
Good.
But I can tell you how I feel about it.
What are you doing? Do not step on your...
More and more lately, it seems like the bad guys are winning. I mean, you know who they are. You cover them every day. The drug dealers, the carjackers, wife beaters. Nobody can stop them. I mean, we barely even try to anymore. It's as if we've all just surrendered. Well, this is one time when the bad guy lost. My client stood up for herself and her sister. If that makes her a criminal, then, we all ought to be sorry. And a little afraid. Thank you.
I hope you don't have any problem with my banging that boy silly.
Knock yourself out.
Nerve deafness?
Did you ever have a moment when God just whispers something in your ear? I guess you have. Nice work, Roy.
She cut me in one piece.
You're just in time. Have a seat. What's the prediction?
We carried 5, 6, and 9. Brenda didn't buy a word.
Topping our news tonight. On day 2 of the Beale Tabak murder case, the Southland was introduced to a different side of Angela Beale, a woman who allegedly killed to save her own life and perhaps that of her younger sister.
Beale took her case to the public today, painting a picture of domestic violence, adultery, and terror.
By her side was attorney Roy Guyton, victim of a ghastly farm accident in his youth.
I think your father would have been proud of you today.
Doubt it. Dad didn't care much for lawyers.
Hell, I'm proud of you.
Just how the Iowa State Law School prepares its students. Reaction to the neophyte attorney and his handicap was immediate.
I would just like to make a short statement. Mr. Guyton's courage in revealing his condition today will serve as an inspiration to millions of hearing-impaired citizens both here and around the world.
Better get used to the earpiece, Roy. It's a fixture now.
And hope to make him an honored member of our organization in the near future.
His words struck a blow for his client. But is Roy Guyton going to bat for an apple queen or for a cold-blooded killer? On the next Scandal Central, rotten to the core.
Clever.
She'll come around.
Support for Beale poured in from across the country.
Angela Beale's not the criminal here. Angela Beale is simply a woman who refused to be a party to male violence and abuse.
Miss Beale also found supporters on the other side of the political spectrum.
Why does ARMS exist? Why do we keep fighting to protect the Fourth Amendment? Angela Beale is the reason. Imagine a world in which she could not have obtained the handgun that saved her life 2 days ago. This woman is ARMS in its purest form.
This ferocious hunter of the deep has an appetite that is not...
What's Ted Koppel doing tonight?
Drought in Rwanda.
Damn, that guy's a snob. Okay, back to business. Angela's sister, you have to go see Mary Tabak tomorrow.
In the past 10 hours, she's been approached by Inside Edition, Extra, and Aaron Spelling. That's tens of thousands of dollars being waved at a woman under heavy sedation. She's gonna cave.
Get her on a leash. She doesn't say a word in public unless it's been scripted in this office. And by the way, neither do you. The next time I tell you to duck a question, you just say no comment, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry.
Work on it tonight before you go to bed. 100 times in front of the mirror. No comment, no comment.
Right after I brush my teeth.
Good. I'm going home. I want a draft for a bail reduction motion when I get in tomorrow. Did you get a chance to eat?
No.
Here. Have something brought up.
Show off.
Where do you get your suits? This is the only one I've got.
Perfect. Good night.
So, where do you want to start?
Couch is fine for me.
Yeah, I meant,
I know what you meant.
I had a very smart professor back at State, and he did a whole lecture once on the dangers of relationships in the workplace.
What do you think I'm proposing here? Picnic baskets in a meadow? I'm talking about you and me bent over the Xerox machine when no one's looking.
Oh. He didn't cover that.
You think you don't know me well enough. That's adorable. Sit down. Over there. I'm 28-ish. I love the law, and I spend most of my nights eating Chinese food in this very office. I haven't met a guy worth a second date in the last 10 months. More?
Please.
3 of the guys I 86'd over dinner told me they thought I was a lesbian waiting to happen. They might be right. So far, I've been too busy to give it a shot. I believe in God, but I don't go to church. I believe in my country, but I don't seem to vote very often. And I haven't said I love you since we buried the family dog 8 years ago. But I do like you, Roy. Hey, it's a kiss, not a contract.
Oh.
What's that in your ear, Mr. Guyton?
I'm sorry?
In your ear.
Nerve deafness. A farming accident from my childhood.
Just one ear.
Yes, just in the left.
Hey, Sky.
What happened? What went on? Where's you? Come on! Can you give us anything, Roy? Come on. Roy, just a couple of questions, huh?
How are you doing?
Give us a break.
How about bringing them out for statements now?
Morning.
Come on in.
Has she been eating?
Only if you count Pergadans.
Mrs. Tabak?
What happened to your hearing aid?
I only need it in large rooms, so I left it at home today.
Right next to your accent, I guess.
Same drawer, yeah.
Give him a break, Mary.
Maybe he'd like some coffee, Ange.
Be right back.
Look, Mary, I know this must be an awful time for you.
Barbara Walters called me. From her yacht.
But they're all going to call. But if you talk, you hurt our case. You hurt your sister.
I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been widowed.
Black okay?
It's fine.
It's fine.
You would have killed her, Mary.
I know that. It's just that everybody is being hurt except for me. I mean, Ange was what, on 20 channels yesterday? And then this morning, some guy calls up and offers me my own 900 line. And I'm supposed to say no?
Oh, Mary. I'm gonna take care of you, I promise.
I mean, on TV, they're making it sound like it was an affair.
Oh, honey. You know me better than that. Don't you? You want another pill, sweetie?
What's it look like?
Yes.
Gotta be an easier way into this place. I worked the guard for hours. He's unbribable.
Hello.
Morning, Mr. Guyton. I'm Shauna Kaplan. The agency sent me over.
It's just the right ear. I can hear you.
Oh, I didn't know. Here's your phone sheet. Somebody named Rika just called to ask if you could meet her at the Xerox machine. Does that mean anything to you? Oh, Roy! There it is! There it is! Ah!
I wasn't planning on making a habit out of this, in case you were worrying.
I wasn't.
Normally, I wouldn't interrupt work for an earthquake. It's just, I decided to give up coffee this morning. The first couple of days are always rocky.
I'll wear a pager.
Reggie, roll. Hi, Brenda Witness from Scandal Central. Think I could have a minute with you?
No, ma'am, not right now.
Oh, but we've been gathering some background on you, Mr. Guyton, and it appears that there's no mention in any of your records of a handicap. Would you care to comment on that, please? Mr. Guyton.
Very good.
We need to get Norman.
He's the Iowa farm boy who will plead a killer's case in court. But is he a legal eagle or a hayseed in over his head? Or something else?
That boy never pushed a plow in his life.
Tonight, a Scandal Central exclusive. The truth about Roy Guyton and his trumped-up past. Farm boy phony.
You might want to do that voiceover again. It sounded a little heavy-handed.
TV can distort things, as you know.
I was wondering if you and I could have a little chat.
What you're asking is impossible.
Hardly.
We don't bury pieces on this show, Mr. King. The Constitution forbids it.
Not the one I grew up reading.
So your angle in all this is...
Kill the piece, Brenda.
Well, give me one good reason why I should.
All right. How about an exclusive with his clients? The only reporter in America to get a half-hour alone with Angela Beale. I can arrange it.
What else do I get?
You get me. Your show's legal expert is unwatchable. I'm willing to replace him for the length of the case. That puts you behind the lines.
How deep?
Well, deeper than you'd get by sneaking another helicopter up on our roof. The building put an extra guard up there, by the way. Kill the piece, Brenda.
You must owe this boy something awful.
I like him. He's gutsy. 5 minutes into the business, I don't want to see him get cut off at the knees. Do we have a deal?
You know, there's something about being lied to that just excites the hell out of me.
Do we have a deal?
I love working for Roy. I get to meet so many interesting people, like you. So, here's the deal. In your own words, everything you can remember. And don't leave anything out, okay?
Okay. Well, Oscar was drunk. He knocked his dinner to the floor and yelled, "Clean it up."
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to go slower?
No, I'm fine. Is that as bad as it got?
Clean it up, you stupid cow. He used to call me that a lot.
That's awful.
Then he used that.
He used that on you?
He used to play a game. Try and see how hard he can hit me without actually breaking any bones. That way I'd never have any x-rays as proof. Sometimes he would leave it in the freezer for that extra sting. You know. Of course, if he had been drinking, then things would get really bad. Are you sure your father's in publishing?
I told you my uncle is. Dad's an orthodontist.
Right. Sorry. Anyway.
Ms. Beale and her attorney are attempting to put the victim on trial here. That's the tactic of someone who doesn't have evidence on which to lean.
Is this criticism fair?
I don't have tactics, Miss Whitless. I only have the truth.
He's labeled your case as the abuse as an excuse defense.
Mr. Davis is a lucky man. He's never been raped.
Have you?
That isn't the point.
Have you?
Can we go on to something else?
Angela, have you ever been a victim of rape?
This is so hard to talk about. I'm sorry. I was 16.
Was it someone you knew?
He said that if I ever told anyone that... I'm sorry. I knew on the day that it happened that I would own a gun as soon as I could. And I knew that I would kill anybody before I ever let that happen to me again. But I never thought I'd see it happen to my own little sister. Every night, I had to go to sleep knowing that what happened to me in the closet of that high school gym was happening to my little sister in her own home by her own husband, and I was just letting it go on. I shouldn't say any more. I guess all of this can be used against me if the DA wants to twist it.
You have all of America as your character witness now. Please don't stop.
What was that?
That was me participating in my own defense, which is my constitutional right.
Angela, we haven't said a word about rape by design. It's not part of our case.
I never said Oscar raped me. Look at the tape. I was careful.
Miss Beale?
Kurt Lee, I produced the show.
Oh, hello. Oh, aren't you sweet?
Mind if I produce yours?
Come again?
I just sold it in one phone call while you were on the set. Daytime, 1 hour. Taking Back the Night with Angela Beale.
Look, it's been a long day.
No, I'm okay.
Angela, what you did out there today is gonna set a lot of women free. If you were on 5 days a week, you could redefine what it means to be a woman.
I'm on trial for murder. How can I host a show?
That's easy. We tape evenings.
I mean, legally.
A presumption of innocence. Right now, you're just a regular citizen like the rest of us. Correct?
Yes.
Except you're not like the rest of us. You're a symbol of courage, an inspiration to women everywhere. Can we have lunch tomorrow?
Tomorrow's no good. I'm being arraigned.
Dinner, then.
Sure.
We're gonna make history, Angela. We're gonna save lives. Home number's on the back.
What was that?
Oh, shh. I'm on.
On the next Scandal Central, we'll take you inside the marriage of Oscar and Mary Tabak. A shocking tale of anger, abuse, and alcoholism. Eat, drink, and beat Mary.
How about them apples?
You know, one of these days, we're gonna have to eat at a restaurant, like people.
Can I tell you what bothers me?
Sure.
We never went metric. I mean, they scared us with it all through high school and then nothing.
You busy Saturday night?
I'm busy every night.
I meant for dinner.
You asking me out on a date?
Yeah. For the past few minutes.
My. Whatever happened to that shy, unassuming guy I met not so long ago?
Put him to bed.
Hello, Roy.
How did you find me?
Followed the trail of reporters. Aren't you gonna introduce us?
Rika, this is Harley Guyton. My father.
Evening.
I'm a little confused here.
Why is that?
Because I tell people you died when I was 10.
You weren't too far wrong. I'm not here to win back your affections, if that's what you're worried about.
I wasn't.
I made the trip because I have some advice for you.
Rika, would you mind waiting inside?
Not at all.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
I've been working on how to put this for 3 days now. I spent 7 years with your mother, pretending that I could be sober. I spent the next 10 on the road, pretending that I might come home.
I know all this already.
Then how come you're making the same mistakes? Lies don't work. Even the little ones. They make you a fraud. You understand? That's all I know. But I figured I owed it to you.
So what are we supposed to do now? Go grab a ball game? Start over?
You're walking among polecats, Roy. Watch you don't turn into one. Good night.
What's a polecat?
Where I come from, it means liar.
We're not going to talk about this. Okay? Just never happened. He was never here.
Let's go inside.
So if Angela were your client, what would you be doing?
Well, I'd be working 25 hours a day. Now, a case like this is like a war. You have to fight it on several fronts. First, I'd assemble my physical evidence experts, a forensics guy, a blood spatter guy.
What you got is a classic blood spatter pattern from a .38. Your shooter was 4 feet away, facing the victim.
You've got a coroner's report, but what you need is a pathologist who can teach a jury without spooking them.
Glass fragments on her right arm, right ankle, contusion on her shoulder consistent with a shattered mirror, bloody lip, welt in her forehead. Whoops.
I would canvass the building that she lives in, meet her neighbors. You know, sometimes eyewitnesses emerge after the police are done taking statements.
She was half naked, flat as a pancake, blood all over her. Oh, it was terrible.
She looked up at us and said, "Ambulance, please. I'm Pinky Spillman."
I think I killed him, she said. I think I killed him.
That's not what I heard.
Does it make sense to you her name is Angela, but her last words before collapsing are, "I'm Pinky Spillman"?
He didn't ask me what made sense. He asked me what I heard.
An idiot you are.
And I'd hire a jury consultant, essential in a case like this.
Is there an ideal juror for the defense?
Absolutely. Their ideal juror is female, 30s.
High school educated. Divorced.
Someone who's been dating long enough to know what it's like to have a creep come over.
Victims of rape or assault would be ideal.
Tabloid readers, people who watch a lot of talk shows. African Americans are...
Excellent. They distrust cops and prosecutors. Gay man, maybe.
A gay woman, you'd send a limo for her every morning. Now, here's who's out. Federal employees.
Anybody who has ever signed a petition for gun control.
Guys who read Penthouse.
And this above all else, no Orientals. They kowtow to authority, always side with the state. Listen, you may think I'm prejudiced, but this is what I get paid for.
Then I'd sit down with a mock jury and try out my case.
Jurors, can everyone come in here and find a seat, please? This is Lloyd Guyton over here. He's our lead defense counsel. Grab a chair over there. That's it. Come on, keep on in. Hi. We have coffee back here. We don't have a lot of time for this. We got coffee and donuts for everyone. Hurry up. Grab some chairs over there. Thanks a lot. Don't be bashful, people. Grab a chair. Make yourself cozy. Get a chair, son, and sit down. Come on, we got them all around the room here. Any cream and sugar over there? Yeah.
And all this for a client that much of America believes is guilty of murder?
The only polls that matter are the ones taken after the verdict, Brenda.
Thank you, Mr. Key. When we come back, a stuntman's shocking tale of a director who simply went too far. Lights, camera, traction. Right after this.
Norman? Thanks.
For what?
For this. Anybody thirsty?
For me.
You know he's gonna come out of this looking like a genius.
Probably.
The press will say he's Norman Keene, but younger. You prepared for that one?
Prepared? It'd thrill me. What kind of a father figure would I be if I just handed you over to him without ensuring his prospects were good?
Norman, yikes.
Dream houses don't come cheap, my dear, even in the valley. And since you'll obviously be quitting the business,
Do I look like the brownie baking type to you?
I never really thought so before, but
The guy makes me hum, Norman. Let's not turn it into something husband and wifey.
maybe I've read a little too much into it.
Maybe.
Check.
Okay. You can sit wherever you want. Okay, thank you. Hello. Oh, I was just gonna call you. Uh-huh.
Mr. Davis? I'm Randy Mucklin. Do you have a minute?
No.
Well, that's too bad, because I have something you need.
Yeah? What's that?
The entire defense strategy in People versus Angela Beale.
Very funny. They'll crawl back under your rock, all right? And you want what? Money?
I want a job. Well, not now, when I pass the bar in November.
You got some kind of beef with the defense team?
Look, I'm a mock juror, sir. They pay me $10 an hour plus donuts and coffee. But their goal is to set a guilty woman free. And it's Norman Keene who's telling them how to do it.
Excuse me?
It's his case. The kid's just a front.
Have a seat, Mucklin.
Hello?
It's me.
Oh. Hi.
I have to say something.
Okay. Let me just...
This aw shucks thing you do, you know? The whole, that Rika, she's a real handful, I'm just trying to keep up, gosh almighty, thing. That's mostly just for fun, right? I mean, you're aware that you have an effect on me too, right?
No. Do I?
I grew up thinking about boys and proms, same as everybody else, just like Betty Sue or whoever it was you were trying to make out with behind your barn.
We didn't have a barn.
My point is, I don't want to feel like some ride you're taking, because I'm not. Despite how I might advertise myself on occasion. Does that bother you?
No. I like it. Can I come over now?
Hell no. I'm hanging up while I still have a shred of mystery left. Good night.
this?
According to a source within the DA's office, an unlikely witness is about to rip the lid off the Bill Tabak murder case. His name, changed legally last summer, is Bitch Slap Harris, and his testimony promises to be the smoking gun the prosecution has been searching for in the case. Harris today confessed that last week he stole a handbag belonging to accused killer Angela Bill. The significance? Harris stole the handbag from a cabana at the Beverly Hills Hotel in which Oscar Tabak was staying. Harris has also confessed to stealing Tabak's wallet from the same room. So now the question on the lips of all involved is this. If Oscar Tabak was a wife-beater, adulterer, and rapist, what was Angela Bill doing in a cabana with him 6 days before shooting him? When asked about the name change, Harris told CCN, "I got so used to being called it in the joint, I figured what the hell," although he didn't actually say hell. Ironically, today was to have been a day of celebration for Angela Bill, who had planned to announce this afternoon the launching of her own talk show.
Her own what?
Did the DA's office call you about this, tell you what they had? No. It's called discovery, fellas. You're supposed to let us know before it's on TV. What a disaster. Oh, Miss Beale? Would you mind telling me what you were doing at the Beverly Hills?
My whole family was there for a wedding. 60 of us. He broke into 5 rooms, including mine. That's where my bag was.
I take it back. It's not a disaster. You're going to Superior Court tomorrow. An immediate motion in limine to exclude the witness on the basis that under the evidence code, his testimony is highly unreliable and more prejudicial than probative.
Huh?
Look, Harris breaks into the Beverly Hills Hotel and robs some wedding guests. Right? A couple of days later, he turns on TV and realizes he just burgled the most famous defendant in the country. So the next time he gets arrested, which doesn't take too long, he sits down with the DA's office and makes a deal. He'll testify to finding Angela Beale's purse in Oscar Tabak's room in exchange for reduction in the other charges against him.
What other charges?
Oh, trust me, there are other charges.
Where are you going?
I'm going on the air, Roy.
Did you get all that? What happened to all your magic sources?
If I'd seen it coming, I would have called. You know that.
What I know is current edition managed to kill us on this story. Most days those guys don't do any better than to get a poodle prison as their lead story. But today they managed to smoke us by a good 2 hours without the great Norman Keane on their payroll.
Action.
Good evening, and welcome to Scandal Central.
Come on. Come on, guys. Stay back.
Mr. Bitch Slap Harris will testify that on that date, he broke into cabana number 3 at the Beverly Hills Hotel and stole 2 items from the room. A wallet belonging to Oscar Tabak and a purse belonging to the defendant, Angela Beale.
A hotel records show that Ms. Beale had a room of her own, Your Honor, and it too was burgled. She never even entered Mr. Tabak's cabana.
Reliability of the witness.
Again, we're asking the court to refer to our brief with respect to the reliability of this testimony.
The court is familiar with the document, counsel.
This is a career criminal with felony convictions both in and out of California.
His motive for testifying.
His testimony in this case would come only in exchange for a reduction from the DA's office on the other charges against him, which include aggravated assault and 2 counts of armed robbery. Now, that has to make his motive in this matter highly suspect.
The defense would be free to explore the witness's motives during cross, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're merely saying that the prejudicial effect of such a testimony on the jury would...
What's wrong? Roy, can you hear me? Roy!
Our argument is with the reliability of the test.
Yes, you've said that already, counsel.
Roy, you're losing him.
Returning to his priors.
Your Honor.
What are you doing?
What the hell are you doing?
Your Honor, the state asked that this motion be denied.
Okay, you're locking up. Don't panic.
Your Honor.
Mr. Guyton?
Go back to the brief on probative value. Roy? Hello? He's gonna get us killed.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's too much feedback.
Well, do you need a recess to buy some batteries, or...?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
The court has been asked to deny your motion, counsel. And at this point, I am inclined to do so.
I don't think you can do that, Your Honor.
No?
Our objection to Mr. Bitch-Slap Harris is a practical one. How can he offer a reliable record of which items were taken from a given room? He hit 5 that we know of that afternoon. Did he log each piece as it was stolen? Did he keep some kind of an official inventory?
An inventory, Your Honor?
If he was under the influence of narcotics during his spree, how else can we be certain what he took from each?
That's quite a leap, Mr. Guyton.
Mr. Bitch-Slap Harris has a history of drug offenses, Your Honor. And we know that his blood was tested after an arrest on a lesser charge within 6 hours of the break-in at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Of course, we don't know the results of that test because the DA has neglected to release them to my office.
Mr. Davis, does your office have the records in question?
We have, Your Honor.
Would you care to share the results with the court?
On the date in question, the witness tested positive for an illegal substance. Heroin, Your Honor.
Were you planning to make this information available to the defense?
I had ordered it done, Your Honor, but apparently there was a clerical error.
How nice.
Your Honor, we ask that the court grant the motion and exclude the witness.
So ordered. The motion is granted. We're adjourned.
Roy Guyton hurled a legal hand grenade today in the B.L. Tabak pretrial. Eschewing his now trademark hearing aid halfway through the proceedings, he destroyed the credibility of prosecution witness Bitch-Slap Harris and left Deputy DA Dean Davis scrambled.
Was the DA offered any plea bargain arrangement, Roy?
No comment.
How did you know Harris had been taking drugs? Roy, how did you know Harris had been taking drugs? Angela,
You know, my running you over might be the luckiest day in Angela's life. You were sensational in there.
I just stay with the game plan, Norman.
I know better, so do you.
Is Rika upstairs?
Seems to be. You hear what I said? You were sensational without any help from me.
I almost passed out in there.
Yeah, but you didn't. What is this? Nobody ever told you what a smart boy you are before?
My dad used to say, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
Can you think of a better way to break your arm?
Sorry about this.
Give it to me. You won't be needing it anymore. Go ahead, son. Have a good night. You earned it.
Thanks.
there's something to look at in how much you like doing this on Norman's desk.
Then let's have a look. No, if he's not even gonna lock this stuff up.
Well, then we're obligated to go through it. I think that's in the First Amendment.
Do you hear that?
Oh, there it is again.
Already. Better find yourself a tux. We are about to win a Pulitzer. Come on.
Oh.
Roy. Oh. No lights. No kidding.
Roy, wake up.
On the next Scandal Central, a tale of lust and legal deception. For when Roy Guyton climbed up to the penthouse for this romantic interlude, he left behind the world's most famous earpiece, which Scandal Central has learned is not a hearing aid at all, but a radio receiver. And who was it receiving signals from? Norman Keene, our own legal expert on the case, who has been the brains behind the defense of the Angela Beale case all along. It turns out,
I'm dead.
Even Scandal Central gets fooled now and then.
I'm dead.
Tonight,
Rika,
an
it's gonna be
in-depth look at the unholy alliance between these two LA lawyers. Nerve deafness, or just plain nerve?
I don't know who that lady was, but I'd like to get her number.
Roy, you better excuse yourself from the case. If it's true, you might be disbarred.
Is there anything actually wrong with your hearing?
That part about being from Iowa, is that a lie, too?
California State Bar says is going to be looking into Norman's role in all of this. Any comment?
Anything, Roy.
My money's on Norman.
There's Brenda.
Wait a minute. Brenda, is it true you're going to do an hour special on this story?
Scandal Central will be taking any legal action against Norman Keene.
Brenda, how did you know the earpiece was safe?
You jerk? More or less. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
You have anything encouraging to say?
My mom thinks you have a cute butt. All my friends, too.
Thank you.
Somebody's waiting for you.
I figured.
Lust and legal deception tonight, when we take an in-depth look at the meaning
Blum.
behind this
I know. You need to see me right now like you need prostate trouble. Tough.
Look, it's not a great time.
I want money, and then I'll go.
I'm sorry. What?
Miss Apple Pie owes me. She's still your client, is she not?
I don't understand.
It goes like this. One night, about a month ago, I can't sleep. My back, which is another story. So I take a walk down the hallway. A guy comes out of the elevator, he passes me and knocks on Angela's door. It's Oscar Tabak. She kissed him like she was fishing down his throat for a dime.
You don't by chance wear corrective lenses, do you, Mr. Blum?
Don't screw with me, sonny boy. By the way, my hearing's not so bad either. Ambulance, please. I think I killed him. It was the third night in a row he came over. Like bunnies, those two were humping right there in the doorway. Are you getting the picture? Well, about 4 weeks later, Angela is lying on my doorstep, a victim of attack. I told her the next morning what it would take to keep me quiet. She made promises, we made a deal, and I haven't seen $1. Are you getting the picture? Angela.
Please help me, I'm being attacked. 858 North Palm Drive. He's going to kill me. Remember these?
Please.
Oh, Oscar. I decided when we stopped seeing each other.
Are you getting the picture? Are you getting the picture?
When we take an in-depth look at the meaning behind this romantic interlude in Norman Keene's swanky suite of offices. This is only one of the alliances.
I know I screwed up. I know I set us back, but we've got a problem.
No, we've got a dismissal. I made you a promise, remember? You wouldn't lose.
It's his case. The kid's just a front. Have a seat, Mucklin.
Who's Mucklin?
Randy Mucklin, he's one of your mock jurors. He found something very interesting lying around your office. Think about it. A DA buying confidential files from an employee of the defense. I'd call that grounds for dismissal. Nice job, Randy.
My pleasure.
You ought to take his number. He's very dependable.
Norman, you can't entrap a prosecutor. The bar...
I didn't entrap anyone. Randy did. Now he'll offer the tape to Judge Handley of his own volition, a friend of the court, and we're done. Prosecutorial misconduct. She walks.
they can charge her again.
Unlawful invasion of privacy by the prosecution. Her rights to a defense have been violated. That makes her immune.
But what if Hanley doesn't grant it? What if...
By the time Hanley hears this tape, it'll be in every newsroom in town. We started leaking it an hour ago. So, it's dismissal with prejudice. End of story. And you will have earned your 30%. Now, did you say you had a problem?
His name is Blum.
The guy on 305. He can tell whomever he likes. No one's going to pay attention now.
Maybe you should go get the dismissal, Norman.
You're still the attorney of record.
It's a joke. Everybody knows that now.
I don't care what everybody knows.
I do.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Somewhere, anywhere.
What the hell does that mean? You got a job to do.
Forget it.
I'm talking to you. What did you expect when you became a defense attorney? That all your clients would be saints? Saints don't need lawyers, Roy.
That's not what I'm talking about. You lied to me.
All I did was deliver what I promised. You were the highest profile 26-year-old lawyer in this country. That was the deal.
This was not the deal. People are laughing at me.
Well, they'd be cheering you if you'd have kept your pants up. By the way, the next time someone gets laid on my desk, I'd appreciate it if it could be me. Now, you go in there and you finish this thing. Serve your client, take your fee, and move on. That's what we do.
This is out of my league now, Norman. Can't you understand that?
No, I can't. Look, Roy, I don't mind if you want to do this farm boy routine when the cameras are on, but don't forget who you're talking to. This is me. I know better. You're no innocent. You're not some hayseed just fell off a turnip truck with a law degree in his hand. You're a killer, just like me. That's why you play deaf when we ask you to. That's why you slipped into that phony accent that the press likes so much. Hell, it's why you came to L.A. in the first place. I mean, driving all that way just to be in the same building as me? Sorry, Roy, I'm having a hard time believing that a guy that ambitious wouldn't know that a lawyer has to tell a lie now and then. You're as ruthless as me on my worst day, and you always were. So let's drop the pretense, okay?
You're right.
Good. Think we get back to work now?
No. The fee's all yours, Norman. I'm out.
Hey, I finished my book. I told you my uncle's in publishing, right?
A couple times.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Roy?
Ladies, please. Please, we'll be full. Ma'am, I understand. I understand.
I used to go off with these guys, split up, and 6 months later, I would go back with them.
Kurt.
Do not do this. This is like driving.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Norman. His office said he was here.
Yeah, he is, but we're about to start taping. Look, Roy, you really don't need to be here, you know? I mean, that business with you on the desk. It's really not the image we're trying to create here. Empowering women, you know?
break,
Look, don't make
all right?
me call security. I mean, how much more lousy press do you really think?
Looking for me?
Yes.
It's okay, he's harmless.
On in 5, Norman.
Thank you.
You let her in, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
Brenda. How she found us on your desk that night. You left my office unlocked and the earpiece out. You set all this up.
You know what we'd call that in court?
It was the idea all along, wasn't it? Wait until the case was in the bag, then step out and take all the credit? Norman Keene, the only lawyer smart enough to win a case without even being in it. So you know what I can't figure? It's why you'd want to take her down with me. What did she ever do?
Norman, did you do this?
You guys ever heard of slander? I'm almost tempted to get myself a lawyer.
What a monster you are. You were supposed to be my teacher. You were supposed to guide me through this thing. I mean, doesn't that shame you just a little?
I don't have time for this.
Get your things, Rika. You have to get out of here.
Why would she want to do that?
Because you don't tell the truth, Norman.
What's truth got to do with it?
Women of America, rejoice! You're taking back the night!
Don't expect her to share your outrage, Roy. She's been at this too long.
Is that true? Are you that far gone?
So, I guess you like how things turned out, huh?
I love you right back.
He's gonna destroy you one of these days. Don't you know that?
This boy thinks he's still on camera.
He can't help himself.
I'd like to start, if I could, with a confession. Not that kind of confession. When I was first asked to host this show, I was hesitant. The last thing I wanted was more publicity. In fact, it wasn't until I was told the title of the show that I knew I had to be on this stage. Taking back the night is really what my case was all about. For as long as I can remember, women have been threatened and frightened and abused. Well, ladies, our days of suffering and silence are over. That's right, you go, girls.
On my cue, Norman.
Let's go take a drive. Okay, I don't know where, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it sounds terrific, giving up a six-figure income for the pleasures of the open road.
Norman, enough!
Maybe I ought to remind you just what we've accomplished here. We started out with a client who was guilty of sin and a DA who was determined to bury her. 3 weeks later, the DA is facing charges, and our client has her own talk show. And all of that without one single day on trial. Now, that is world-class lawyering, Roy. Even by my standards. Rika knows that better than anyone. Don't you?
Rika, come with me. I know he's the biggest deal in town, but I love you.
Hey, shut that thing off.
But this is not a show about hating men. I'm serious. In fact, the first guest that we'll ever have on this stage is a man. The one who helped me win my freedom.
It's Ted Koppel.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's about time.
please welcome
He's calling for Roy.
my lawyer, my friend, Norman Keene.
You're on. Norman, you're on. Tell him I'll call back. I've got a date. Norman.
Like a ghost. Drift in, you drift out.
I'm heading back to Houston now. Just wanted to say goodbye. You watch your step out here, son. There's lots of
Polecats. Yeah, I know. I've got it under control.
I can see that. Ma'am.
They said our love would never last. They said it wasn't right. But here we are, just you and me, taking back the night, just you and I. We're taking back the night, taking back the night, taking back the night. Like Venus and Mars, we'll dance among the stars till dawn turns to day. We never heard the words they said, and love is shining bright. For here we are, just you and me, taking back the night, just you and I. We're taking back the night, taking